Today we're going to talk to you about a Chocoflan cake. I am a pretty well-learned and well-traveled chef, and I had never heard of this until a year ago.
Are you kidding me?
It's this crazy idea of getting a bundt pan and layering the bottom with caramelized sugar, the middle part being a chocolate cinnamon cake, and the top being a classic Mexican flan. The crazy part of it, why they call it the impossible cake, is that when you put it in the oven, these two layers of the cake and flan are going to switch places as they coagulate and firm up. Then when you turn the cake over, take this off, and you're gonna have a layer of chocolate cake, a beautiful flan on top with its own sauce that's kind of melting down over the syrupy, gluey mess. Called the impossible cake because I'm still baffled about how it does this. It's pretty cool, and you should make one of these, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. In a heavy-bottomed stainless steel pan over medium heat, pour half a cup of baker's sugar. Use a high-temperature rubber spatula or a wooden spoon to work out all of the lumps. As it melts, it will slowly turn into this smooth golden caramel sauce, and that's when you know it's done. Spray the bundt pan with non-stick spray or smear butter over it. Put the caramel sauce as the first layer in the bundt pan. Now we're going to make the cake layer. In a mixing bowl, combine the butter and sugar and cream it on medium speed until light and fluffy. Meanwhile, sift the all-purpose flour, the cake flour, cocoa powder, ground cinnamon, baking powder, baking soda, and kosher salt. We're going to add the egg into the creamed butter, and we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl as necessary. Pour half of the dry ingredients into the butter mixture and then half of the buttermilk, going back and forth until it's smoothed out. It will come out a little bit thick. Use a rubber spatula to scrape down the sides of your bowl one more time and give it one more quick mix for good measure. Now it's time to prepare the mixture for the flan. In a blender, add your tempered cream cheese, evaporated milk, 1 can of condensed milk, your whole eggs, a pinch of kosher salt, and some good old homemade vanilla extract. Blend this on high for about a minute. Now we're going to assemble the layers in a bundt pan. We have the caramel sauce at the bottom, and we're going to smooth out the chocolate cake batter on top of that. And just use your spatula to smooth it on over. Then, using a rubber spatula, we're going to slowly pour the flan mix on top of the cake batter. We do this to offset the gravity of the flan mixture so that it doesn't create little potholes in our cake mixture. We're going to cover it with greased foil. Now, with this cooking process, we're going to need to set up a bain-marie. This is called a 4-inch half pan, and it's absolutely perfect for an average bundt pan. Any pan that's larger than your bundt pan that will allow the water to go up at least 50% up the sides of the bundt pan would be just as fine. When you're setting up your hot water bath, boil or simmer water and pour it into it. You don't want to use cold water or else it's going to add way too much time to your cooking time and your cake will be overcooked. Then we're going to put it in a 350 degree preheated oven for about an hour and 20 minutes. Do a toothpick test to ensure that it's cooked all the way through. Carefully remove it from the hot water bath. Allow it to cool for about 1 hour before you turn it out. Carefully invert it upside down over your bundt pan and quickly flip it on over. If it needs a little help, give your plate a little jiggle and it should come out. You'll probably either hear it or feel it in your pan. Carefully remove the bundt pan and voila! Here is the beautiful impossible cake made possible. Or properly said in Spanish, pastel imposible. The caramel sauce that we put in there first is slowly toppling over the layers of delicious flan. Now, the classical recipe for this calls for cajete, which is a caramel sauce made out of goat's milk. But for my purposes, I just used regular caramel sauce for this. The cajete sounds really good, though. I'm going to look for that and try it on my next recipe. My favorite way to serve it is right after you've turned it out, when it's about room temperature or about 110 degrees. It's got the most optimum flavor that way. And of course, top it with some fresh caramel sauce. Now go get baking.